What up? What's going on, Syndicate? Hope
What's
everybody's
going
good this
on?
morning. Can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I love it. I got you perfect too, dude. I love it's like every time we do this behind the scenes. I want to get another camera angle, like behind the scenes, live, right before we actually go live. So y'all can see it's like a little chaos back here. Trying to figure it out every time. I love it. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's good, having a good day. I'm excited about this one, dude. The Jungle Lion himself, Mr. Anthony Starks. We become buddies, I don't know, last year and a half or so, whatever it is. Events. This dude runs a big agency, speaker, author. Dude, there's a big list, bro, of all kinds of good stuff you do. Show. I'm sure you got podcasts, you got different agencies, couple companies. Y'all doing big things, man. You and Rakita, y'all two of my favorite people, and I've enjoyed getting to know you guys over the last year and a half. So this will be fun, man. I would love if you give and have you been on any of these with Joe or Tony or anything yet? You know the group?
I believe it was a time it was me, you, Jesse.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. I forgot we did that group one. That's right. So there's like 6,000 insurance agents from all different lines. And you're obviously one of the most versatile. I got to warn people because some of the people I bring on, they do only life and they don't even know how to spell PNC like me. So you're pretty familiar with the group, but it's 5,000 or 6,000 people in the group. There's usually a couple hundred end up checking out the video. So, what I always want to do is, man, give people some inspiration, some direction, things that they can take and implement in their business to help them out like immediately. And you're one of the best trainers I've ever watched. So I'm excited to hear what you got to say. But if you want to give a little more intro, dude, about what you got going on in the insurance space and a little background, and don't gotta drag it out long because I want to get to the good stuff.
I'd love to hear a little more. Yeah, man. Really, just in the space, growing, expanding like crazy. Team is growing. It's great because team is growing, but we also shedding people at the same time. So as you grow, you got to prune, right? You know how you grow in a garden, you got to prune. So, man, when I say it's just amazing, the speaking, coaching business is taking off, and so it's a lot to manage, right? So you got to make sure that you have your priorities clear as you're having on the growth, because it's one thing to get it, but it's another thing to keep it all.
Yeah. I mean, you should be. Hey, we were voice texting back and forth the other day. You were having staff issues. I was having staff issues. We're getting rid of. I'm like, oh man, y'all think it's all roses and sunshine when you start doing pretty well. It's like, golly, the problems, man. So
you have to pick them.
Yeah, 100%. So what's y'all's priority right now? I'm gonna go off script. What do we used to talk about prioritizing? How do you prioritize all that stuff, dude? Because some days I'll be honest, I struggle.
Oh yeah. I would say it's a constant reminder. You have to really be in line, especially because obviously I'm doing it with my spouse, right? So we have to make sure that we're clearly aligned by writing down our goals, our goal together, my goal, her goal. So then we can make sure that, hey, our eyes stay on the prize. Because if not, it's real easy to drift the shiny object syndrome, and then you're all over the place. So priority right now is the open enrollment. We have our health insurance open enrollment. So we're helping people install benefits in their small businesses or entrepreneurs, even individuals and families, health, life, dental, vision, disability. So we're doing all that. But at the same time, we're growing our coaching business. So you said, wait a minute, which one are you prioritizing? So for the most part, in the agency, we have our staff running that part of it. But then for me, Rakita, we are really maxing out the coaching business.
Got it. What's the coach? Explain the coaching business a little more for them. What do y'all do there?
So in the coaching business, what we want to do is it's a two-part. So number one, when we talk about the jungle line, it's a mentality, right? We teach the hunter's mentality. So I specialize in helping salespeople increase their sales by developing a sales process to duplicate and scale their sales predictably, right? So that's what my part is. Rakita's part is helping people understand their superpower, their gifts, assessments, all that, and we couple those two together so it can create the ultimate jungle lioness, right? And so we do that, but then if you work with your spouse, that's a whole nother dynamic. So we teach that as a subset of, hey, what if you have an ambitious spouse, but then you're also ambitious? How do you manage all it together?
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing what y'all doing. We're fortunate to be part of your last couples conference a couple weeks ago, which was fun.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely looking forward to doing more. And I told someone the other day, they're like, you start to do a lot of those couples things. You almost be great at whatever. I'm like, I think we're doing them because we're really bad at a lot of stuff. And it's like, we're just transparent and sharing what we've learned because it's hard to navigate sometimes, dude. You know, and Steph and I are different than you and Rakita. Like y'all are both like hot, like trying to accomplish big things professionally. Yeah. As well as taking care of the family. Where Steph and I'm like the business. I want to attack all kinds of business stuff. She's there to help, but she's not very like. She doesn't give a rip if we open anything ever again. You know what I mean? Like she's super chill in that sense. She plays a really good supporting role, so she's not trying to like. Steph ain't trying to write a book or coach nobody or open any kind of selling any kind of life insurance or anything. So it's an interesting dynamic. But she plays a killer support role. So I'm just having fun with you, dude. Kind of doing some of these things we're talking about. So, and then we'll see you Monday. We'll see both of y'all Monday. Y'all coming in Monday?
Yeah. Sunday. Yeah, we'll come in. Well, we actually come in Sunday evening, and then we'll be ready for Sunday morning. Well, Monday morning we'll be ready.
Yeah. What time you get in Sunday?
Maybe around 6 o'clock or so. So we'll leave out. We'll most likely hit church and head on out because you all about maybe a 4 or 5 hour drive down to San Antonio from down.
Oh, you're driving now? Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me know when you get there, dude. We're gonna do a little get together. Camper and I were messaging the other day. We're like, let's do a little get together. We have there's a cool little thing at the bottom of our hotel. So we'll do a little hangout. Any of y'all coming to San Antonio? We're running a sales conference in San Antonio at where are we doing it? Omni Del something mansion. I don't even know. You can look at my social. It's not that hard. But it's at the Omni in San Antonio. It's the sales training is from 10 to 5. Joe is actually going to do a 9:30. He's going to do his speed dating for insurance agents as like a pre-event. We're giving away free leads. So anybody that gets there before 9:30, between 8:30 and 9:30, we're doing a raffle at lunch, giving away free leads. And we got y'all there. Joe's there. Tony's there. We got a crazy lineup of trainers. We're giving away a free lunch. Like everybody's getting lunch served to them free in the middle because we had to extend the day because I got so many damn people that wanted to help give back to the agents. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys both on stage there teaching. So let's get into the meat, dude. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't want to breeze over this, man. I'm gonna tell you, these conferences that y'all are putting on, these are like golden. Because I'm just thinking about when I started back in 2009 in the insurance world. Like we didn't have this kind of stuff back then, right? So to be able to walk in, see other successful people from other areas, like it's a big time thing that we breeze over because we used to that, right? We made it to a level, but when you're looking at people who climbing up the ladder, that's like golden to be able to see people who are at a certain level because it's real easy in your immediate circle to become a big fish in a little pond. And so you really don't know how big you can go until you get around some other juggernaut. So that the encouragement, the sales tactics, just everything. So if you watch this, you have to get in San Antonio to come to this. I'm telling you, it's going to take it to another level.
Hey, you know what I want to solve, dude? Just me and you talking? Because you're starting to do events too, right? We have a free event. We don't sell nothing there. There ain't no tickets. There ain't no back of the room charges. There ain't no pitching, nothing. Dude, we got 180 people registered, right? Which ain't mad at. Dude, we rolled out of bed, said let's start a sales conference. We'll have a couple hundred people there. But did you see some of these places that get like thousands of people there? And I've seen some conferences, dude, like Bet Davis, dude, it's like 10 G's to go to that thing. And he'll pack it out. Or what's dude, 10X? You know what I mean? I'm like, I need to figure out how to fill a conference that's free. I'm like, maybe we should charge. I don't know. Because they ain't cheap to run, bro.
They definitely not cheap. They definitely not. So, but I would say this, man, because even when you look at the free, it's the value that they're getting. And man, when I say for newer struggling agents, you got to get in the room. And if you're watching this seriously, you have to get in the room. This is what I wish that I had back in 2009 and 2010.
Legit. Yeah, and if anybody wants to come, again, it's all free event. You can go to johnwetmore.com and register. There's an Eventbrite link, but it's so long, I don't know what it is. But just go to johnwetmore.com. There's a little link right on my page. anyone can come, anyone's welcome. Dude, we got people, I know no one's confused. I'm with FFL, but dude, we got, I think 3 speakers that aren't even with us speaking. Merwin's coming. I'm with Integrity. He's with Mayor Live. Like they're literally competitor. I'm like, who cares, dude? I like doing things different, man. And we're bringing people from the outside in as well that can add value. So anybody's welcome. And you can send anybody you have local. Again, it's not a recruiting fact. It's just we're there to add value. And, I figured there's enough business, enough agents for all of us. So let's just help everybody we can. So, but appreciate you, dude. Let's get into the meat, man. You got one of my favorite concepts or topics, dude, that I love hearing you talk about this thing, the jungle lion. I'm gonna let you rip, dude. I'm not even gonna like preface it. I'm just gonna let you talk. I know you know how to get agents excited, how to get them out of their own head. And if y'all will listen to the things he's telling you, and take this advice and run with it, you can literally take whatever line of insurance you do today, whatever business, hell, there might be someone not even in insurance yet. You can literally take these concepts. They're like universal principles that he talks about, but the way you deliver it, dude, is on point, is one of my favorites. So I'm gonna let you let it rip, dude, and do what you can. And if y'all got questions along the way, type them in the chat. There's something you got to do. I think there's instructions because some of them don't show your name. So if you want your name in there, you got to fill something out on StreamYard. It's pretty simple. But put questions in along the way. If we see anything great, Anthony, I'll put it on the screen. And if you want to touch on it, do. If you don't, just ignore it. We'll pop some up that seem like they might be relevant. What's the jungle line, man? We want to know more.
Yeah, the jungle lines is it's a mentality, because what ended up happening is, in life, we don't realize, man, we're the greatest or the highest level of creation, right? But I don't believe that we really understand it. And so when I like to take a step back is, we got to remember, we created buildings, we created the roads, we created the cars, we created all of these different things, right? But we live our lives in the background and in the shadow. So the jungle lion is a lion that is fierce. Again, he's not the biggest, the fastest, the strongest. But when you look at all of his traits together, his mindset makes him the king. So I like to have people to understand that, hey, you're a king or queen. So that's number one. You have to see yourself a certain way. Now, once you see yourself a certain way, you can activate something within you, right? So when you activate something within you, that's the hunter's mentality to go for it. Most people don't like going for their goals because they are fear of failure, fear of loss or risk. But you got to understand, a jungle lion, when he goes to hunt, he doesn't always capture his prey, but it's the hunt that gets him activated to go after it, right? So we like to make sure that we instill in a person that, number one, let's get up, let's activate the hunter's mentality in you and go for it. And while many people fail in this industry, if they're coming from the W-2 world, from a job, well, that's like a zoo lion mentality. A zoo lion, think about it. They're getting fed every day. They have safety and security. They have the zookeeper comes in and give them medical attention. It's all of this hand-holding from the corporate world that trains a lion, as big and bad as he is, but you're trained to be a zoo lion, to be sitting back and wait for somebody to do something for you, right? And think about it, that's a false sense of security, because if the zookeeper doesn't come in and feed the lion, he doesn't even eat that day, right? So rather than having and preferring the safety and security, we like to train people to go for freedom, because for freedom, you have to give up that safety and security. And freedom comes with risk. Again, there's a chance you can starve, but at the same time, you have the choice to go out and hunt, and you don't stop until you get it. So again, when you come from the W-2 world into entrepreneurship, self-employed, what ends up happening is you bring these mentalities from the zoo. Now, imagine a zoo lion being caged up for 10, 15 years, and you just let him out into the wild. That zoo lion is about to have a hard time because he never learned how to hunt. He never learned how to feed himself. He never learned how to take care of himself. He never learned how to go dominate a space to make it his own. He never did any of those type of things. So the fact that now that zoo lion is out in the wild, he's not going to last long. So what's end up happening at zoo lion, even though he has the world in front of him to take on, he's end up going to turn back to go back to the zoo because that's where he's comfortable, right? So when you're looking at when guys come into the insurance industry or entrepreneurship anyway, you look at it. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they go cut hair, if they real estate, car salesman. It don't matter. The principles are the same. you're going to have to come into the industry and you're going to have to hunt, because you have other hunters that are out hunting. You have to outperform these guys, right? So with that being said, now that you understand that hunting is part of the game, you can't wait in the insurance world for somebody to give you leads. You can't wait for somebody to buy you leads. You can't wait for somebody to call you. You can't wait for somebody to do anything for you. You have to first get up and go for it. So whether it's hunting, dialing leads, hunting, going out prospecting, like when I say hunter's mentality, man, back in 2009, I used to wake up every day and I had a little appointment book, and I wish I had my little folder. I still keep some of the little blue cards there in my office in my little desk. I literally had like a blue card stack, and I would wake up in the morning and my job was to hit the bricks, door knock, walking up to people's homes, walking up to apartments, in Walmart, doing catchy stuff, talking to people and dropping my insurance card on the ground and telling the person they dropped something so they can pick it up. And that way I break the ice and talk to them. But at the end of the day, I had to get names, numbers, phone, emails, all that kind of stuff to follow up, right? What that did was that developed a hunter's mentality, because if I didn't get up and go hunt, I didn't eat, right? And so again, in the insurance industry or any entrepreneurial role, you have to be a hunter first. So we like to make sure we are really driving that into people, because what happens is people see my success, your success, Joe's success, Cody Aston's success, Jesse Park's success, Rakita's success. They see all these people's success, and then they look at that and want it. But again, what's work ethic? You want that level of success, but you want job W-2 work ethic, but you want those results. It's not mathematically possible. It doesn't work that way. So again, we first like to start with the hunter's mentality first to get a person in the right mind frame, because if their mentality is not right, nothing else matters, right? So now, coming out of the jungle line mentality, as you're knowing to go out and hunt, the next thing you have to do is you have to make sure that this is a consistent action that you're doing. Because one thing is to get motivated, you get up, you do this for a few days. It's kind of like right now, everybody gonna set a New Year's resolution goal, right? And then once they set this New Year's resolution goal, what they're gonna do? They're gonna work out for a month. The gym's gonna be packed, and I hate it at this time of year. Everybody's in the gym. I can't get to the weights. I can't do that. They just set this motivation goal, and guess what happens in February, March? It all clears out. So most people, if they now have gotten past this activating the hunter's mentality, they don't keep it up. They taste a little bit of success and then they get comfortable. If you think about it, a jungle lion has to hunt every day, because if he don't go out and hunt and kill, he don't eat. What the challenge is, most people, they taste a little success, they get full, they bellies get full, and guess what they do? They get comfortable. And now they sitting back and now they wondering why they're starving again. But you got to keep your pipeline going, hunter, every day. Start at zero, go back and go get it. So we like to make sure that as we're coaching a person, training a person, and it's not always just about business. I'm talking about a hunter's mentality in marriage. Because guess what? You can be pursuing your wife right now, right? You can wake up, it's Monday, right? You can wake up and then you can tell your wife, I love you. Tuesday, I love you. Wednesday, I love you. Thursday, I love you. And then you skip Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? You better understand what you just did. You just gave somebody else a chance at your wife to come and wow her. Think about it. I'm not finna let some other dude come in and have the opportunity to wow my wife and fill her cup. I'm doing it myself. So I got to be a hunter's mentality in my marriage to make sure, hey, I don't want some other hunter, because I got to find a wife. Don't get me wrong. Like, my wife ain't ugly by a long shot. I got a bad wife. So with that being said, it's like other dudes are looking at her. So I better make sure as a hunter, I'm handling my business in my marriage. Think about it. Like, one point can change the whole match. You can lose a Super Bowl or an NBA championship by 1 point. So one off day could change it all. So this is why I say everyday grind. You got to make sure that you're focused every day. You don't allow a person to come in and take because you're not hunting. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah, it makes sense, dude. Hey, I know you wrote a book. When is the book on this coming out? I haven't read your book, so maybe it's in there, but it ain't the title. When you need to put this out.
So I got the first book, and the first book is just really just helping entrepreneurs, right? People coming to the insurance space, right? It's teaching you how to do $10,000 in 90 days or less, right? So if this is for a person who brand new, or even if you've been in the industry and you're struggling for a while, it's just a quick strategy, easy read. Get right in here and structure how, like, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, how to get in here in 90 days or less and make $10,000. And people hear $10,000, man, that's such a small number. But again, if you don't have the process, then it's difficult. But to answer your question, the book, that's definitely going to be coming out. The Hunter's Mentality, Jungle Life, that's definitely going to be coming out.
Yeah,
and you see that photo back there? That's going to be the cover photo right there. Just so y'all have a sneak peek of it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the cover photo right there.
I love it. I love it. I keep one little right here.
There you go. See, that's why we're so connected. Lions understand lion talk.
Yeah. 100%. How and you can see Joe's. I'm gonna his question. Mine's a similar. I'm gonna tie the two together. That way we don't tie you up with two questions. But like day in and day out, what about those people? You know, those agents that think they're out there hunting, and you're like, bro, that ain't hunting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So kind of wrap that into this, to what Joe asked.
All right. So part of the challenge is most people don't know what winning looks like. Mm-hmm. So like how we just talked about winning at our level, like before this whole podcast even started, like the scrambling around, making sure everything happening. Why can't we hear each other? Like that's a natural part of like doing something big, right? But if you're not used to winning, you think everything's supposed to be perfect, and then now when you run up on something, you quit. You're so easy to quit. And so one of the points I always make is expect opposition. You have to expect opposition. If you're trying to do something big in life, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So the moment opposition show up, you just need to know that, hey, I'm on the right track. You see what I'm saying? So the moment you see a roadblock, you're like, okay, now I just need to overcome it. So to answer that question even further, it's like when you are thinking about what am I doing every day? It's just binary, as numbers. And if you are thinking you're hunting, well, what is the outcome that you're getting, right? So what I'm saying about it is, let me give you a really good example. If 1 + 1 = 2, but you're saying you want 25, but at the end of the day, you keep getting 2, then that means something is telling you, the data is telling you on the other side of the equation that something is not adding up, right? Lack is an indicator that you're not adding significant value. So if your work ethic is low and your bank account is low, then that's telling you you ain't hunting, or you need to get more skilled at hunting. And most of the time, believe it or not, it's not even the skill level that people have an issue with. Because like they think, well, I got to be this master salesman. I got to have the best script. Man, listen, if your activity goes up, it's like the NBA. I don't care how bad of a shooter you are. If you shoot 1,000 threes today, I guarantee you can score 30 points. But if you only shoot 10 shots, it's going to be hard for you to score 30 points. You got to be ice cold. Steph Curry ain't even doing it. He ain't 10 for 10. And he's the greatest three-point shooter of all time. So you got to get your activity up. Numbers.
Yeah. What about those people, like, because now you're speaking my language right there with activity. That's my world, bro. You know that. How about, you know what, the opposition I get, a couple things. One, people go like, that's aggressive, or what if I'm bothering people, or, you know what I mean? Like they have this negative thought process towards high activity. What do you say to that? I'm curious.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a real good one, because this is literally a real example from last week from one of the people that we just let go, right? And again, it's just this simple, right? The hunter's mentality is this. In your mind, you don't stop until you hunt, stalk, capture, kill the prey, right? It does not matter what the opposing team is saying. Like I said, if you playing against somebody in basketball, I don't care if they're saying, well, oh, you're too aggressive. Boy, you better get this ball in the hole or you lose. Does that make sense? So a lot of times what we're thinking and conjuring up, the other person isn't really even saying that, right? The customer isn't saying that. So the example I'm giving you, young was on the team. We're doing outbound calls. We're following up with the clients, trying to re-enroll for coverage, right? The guy answers the phone, and then the rep I have, I teach them how to overcome the objection, because an objection is any reason, excuse not to buy. So when the guy answers the phone, my rep is telling him, hey, it's time to renew your coverage. At this point, the guy's like, well, hey, right now is not a good time. Let me go ahead and get my kids in the house. It's raining, all this kind of stuff, right? But really think about this. If it was that bad of a time, would he have answered the phone?
Never.
Just really think about that. I can guarantee you, if gunshots was blazing all around him and all of a sudden the phone ring, would he answer, hey, what's going on? Let me call you back. I'm getting shot at. I would never do that, right? So the truth is, if he answered the phone, he has some kind of availability right now, right? Does it make sense? But you say, well, oh, and this was the exact conversation. Well, oh man, that's been an a-hole. The man just said that he's getting his kids out the car in the rain and all this kind of stuff. Listen, I understand that you're getting your kids out the car, not a problem. Is there a better time for me to call you back? Yeah, call me back in an hour. Okay, I'll call you back in an hour. But this is the way you overcome the objections, transitional phrases. All right, but while I got you on the phone really quick so we can maximize our time later, what zip code do you live in? And you just get right back into the script. I guarantee you, if you do that, the man is gonna be sitting there. Well, okay, let me hey, everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. Yeah, and he's gonna answer the question. And before he know it, 5-7 minutes then went by, because the call is that quick anyway. 5-7 minutes then went by, and next thing you know, you didn't close the deal. He done forgot that he told you to call you back. And I do this all day. I do it all day. So to tell me that, hey, you're being aggressive or a-hole, I can tell you right now, you may come off as an a-hole up front, quote unquote, but when something happened to that person, you're going to be the first person that they call you back and thank. One of our clients' husband just passed not too long ago, and one of our great clients, been having this lady for the last about 7-8 years. She called me back and crying, hey, I want to thank you because you were so persistent, not aggressive or a-hole. You were so persistent that you made sure that you got me and my husband together. He got this policy. He's the breadwinner. I'm not working. I don't know what I would be doing if we weren't able to cash on this policy. Now, think about that life-changing moment. If I wasn't a hunter in that moment, that family will be suffering right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the side people miss, is that what you're saving people from if you are more persistent with stuff like that. And I wish more people thought that way. That's why I always say, like, people go, what if? And they attach negative to it. I'm like, can't you go, what if positive? Can't you come up, if you're going to make something up, why not make something up positive? Like, why you got to make something? You're making it up either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not make up the positive one? You know, as you were saying all this hunting thing, I'm picturing in my head, if we turn the average insurance agent into a lion and put him out in the wild, he'd be walking up to the gazelle, be like, hey, so my family's hungry. Do you mind if I eat you right now? And they go, no. And he goes back home. Like, sorry, I tried to get some food and they said no. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds really stupid.
As crazy as that sound out loud, that's exactly what would happen. I tell the agents, listen, stop asking and give them directions on the other end of the phone or in person. When you go to the doctor, this doctor is asking, hey, do you mind coughing right here? Or he's telling, hey, when I put this on you right here, I need you to cough. Yeah. When you put that right there, I need you to do this. I need you to stand up. Okay, I need you to, you see what he's doing? He's giving you direction, instruction. He's the authority.
That's true. I love it, dude. Cool. If any of y'all have any questions, because we're gonna wrap up here, I'm asking probably one more. But if you got anything you want to know from Anthony, type it in. We'll put it on the screen. We'll pick a good one and let him answer it. Give them something, dude, while they're thinking of questions, because people are funny and they get like nervous and don't want to ask stuff. Joe has no problem. Joe will put 400 comments in here. He's my favorite. But give them something like, and you've given great context. Right. There's some great stuff. Give them something that they can go, like, if you were talking to your salespeople today, give everyone something that they can like hang up from this call in the next 5 minutes and go do right now to increase their productivity for the day.
Okay. I'll give it to you right now. Number one, and this is number one, and you have to always start right here. Because again, the word of God tells you, seek me first in my kingdom, and all these other things will be added to you. So again, if you're lacking something, you need to go to where the source that flows resources, right? So you go down when you pray. Because again, when you think about the fishermen on the boat in Luke chapter 5, verses 4 through 10, I believe it is, these guys are skilled fishermen, but then they're on the boat fishing all night, not catching anything. The moment Jesus hits the scene, he then tells them to drop their nets on this side of the boat. And now there's so much fish that they can't even carry. They have to ask for help, right? So number one, I ask you to stop, pray, and seek direction. That's number one. Number two, if you're going to do that, the word of God says you have not because you ask not, right? Now, if you don't ask, you won't have. So after you ask, now your job is to go out and hunt. Because again, you've never seen a bird just in the morning, mouth wide open, waiting for a worm to drop in his mouth. What does that bird have to do? He has to go hunt. Birds have more faith than humans do. They know that every day they're going to go out and hunt for a worm, they're going to get something, right? But then again, we're the highest creation, but we don't even have that level of faith. So if you're going to now go out on a faith tip, your faith is measured by your actions, your work, right? So if you're saying you have faith, now you got to go work to show how much faith you really have, because if not, it's just all talk. So action step, again, pray first, seek direction. 2, get out, go hunt. If you have leads, and again, I always tell people this, if you don't have leads, you don't have money for leads, I can guarantee you, do this. We call it Project 100. We get this to all our new agents. All of it is going to be right here in this book. You say, well, I don't want to bug my friends and family. Man, listen, start with your warm market. Literally today, I'm telling you, I can guarantee if this don't work for you, I'll give you $100. That's how confident I am. I don't know how many people on this call. It might be 1,000 people on this call. That means I just put myself on the line for $100,000 right now, right? So think about this. I want you to write down a list and name 100 people, because again, it's your activity. If you do this, names, phone numbers, even if you know how to emails, what I want you to do is I want you to call these people, let them know that, hey, I'm in the process of extending my insurance career. My manager told me that I have to do a certain amount of presentations to practice, right? Do you mind helping me out in this scenario by just listening to my presentation and critiquing me? I'm not asking for you to buy anything. It's just I need your help with critiquing me, right? What did you just do? You just let the person off the hook from feeling pressured to buy something. When you say you asking for help, most people are willing to help you. So now that you are getting the person's help to listen to your presentation, you go through your presentation, you ask the questions. They're going to ask you, well, is this going to be like my real information? Like, yeah, let me get the real information. This way I can, like, whatever your income is, all that kind of stuff. That way I can have a real scenario. When I quote it, it's like the real thing. Most of the times when these new agents do this, or struggling agents do this, either way you want to go, these guys find out that the person on the other end of the line that they know, love, like, trust, all that, don't even have the services that they have. When I'm going through the presentation and I'm showing a person the living benefits on life insurance, what this health insurance can do, why disability is important for the paycheck, and I'm going through all this kind of stuff, stats of bankruptcies and all this kind of stuff, the first question people say is, wait a minute, is this like for real, or is this just like part of the role play? Like, well, you really qualify for this, but man, I'm not asking you to buy, but and then you just keep going. Before you know it, they'll be asking you, well, hey, what does it take for me to go ahead and move forward if I want this? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a real practical step. If you don't do that, that means you're not serious. That doesn't cost you any money. All it takes you is time, writing it down, making a phone call. Nothing is stopping you. You don't have to have the best phone, the newest script. You ain't got to have the newest computer. We make up all this stuff in our mind that, oh, well, when I get this new computer, then I go out and start doing sales. Oh, when I get an iPad and I don't have pen and paper, then I go. Like, man, listen, all that is fluff. I just told you that when I started, I had the little blue card and I just put pen and paper and went out and go did it. So if you literally attack this Project 100 list, post something on social media, somebody like your post, contact this person, ask them for their help. And I guarantee you, out of this whole process, you're going to get, even out of 110 people that wants to move forward with your service. And in this industry, if you do a life insurance, especially, I don't know what your comfort level is, but on average, you'll make $500 per person up to $1,000. You get 10 people to tell you yes today, and you make $1,000 on those policies. What did you just do? You went from 0 to 10,000 in less than 90 days with just that one strategy. So if you take that one thing and go do that, and if you say, hey, I'm trying this and it's not working, hit me up, Anthony Starks Official on Instagram, Anthony Starks on social media, on Facebook. Message me, support at ffmic.com. Message me and say, hey, I'm trying what you just told me and I'm struggling. And I'm telling you, I'll do a group session with each one of y'all. Like, we do a group. I invite you on. I'll show you how to do it. I'll call a few of them with you if necessary to help you walk through it and show you how they work. It's literally that simple. I can't get more tactical than that.
Dude, they ain't got no damn excuse now, bro.
None.
Hey, I want to see. I think we should get people that do this today to comment later in the day on this thread what you did that Anthony talked about today and the results you got from it. Someone on here is going to go out and do it and make a few grand today from this. Someone will do it. I just want to know who that person is. You know what I mean? I need someone as crazy as us to go out and actually do it. Because once you start doing this stuff, you're like, oh, it ain't that deep. You know, you just, like you say, you got to get out of your own way, get out of your own head. I think there's a question we're going to end with, but you just gave your social, which I was going to ask. How do they get the book too? Do they just go to your social and get it? Or what's the best? I want to let you give them that too. However you, I don't know what the deal is on that.
If you go to anthonystarks.com, you'll see the little pathway right there. You can click it, order it. It's going to take to like a link, the payment link or something like that. You order it and we'll have it shipped out to you. Here in the next few weeks, we're waiting on Amazon to approve it. It'll be on Amazon. You better get it in a few weeks from the day. I can't tell you exactly when, but anthonystarks.com is the immediate way right now to get it.
I love it. There you go. End with this one. And I know you could probably talk about this for 4 hours. Oh, because yeah. I've seen you. So give them a little something small. You know what I mean? Give them a little taste on how any advice for couples working together. And I'm pretty, that's Tony's wife. Cool. What's up? Yeah. Let them know what advice you give them. And we'll end with this.
Number one, I would say understand what your strength is and know what your strength is not. Allow your spouse to operate in their gifts while you operate in yours. For so long, I used to try to change Rakita into a salesperson, but she's not a salesperson. She's a relationship person, more on the customer retention, customer service side. I always say, I'm the head, she's the heart, right? So now when you think about that, I used to get a lot of businesses, but I wouldn't follow up with these people. I wouldn't build a relationship with these people. I wouldn't do any type of customer appreciation event. I wouldn't send them a gift. I wouldn't do all this kind of stuff. That is where Rakita would come in and say, well, hey, this person just bought this big policy and all this kind of stuff. Can we send this person some kind of thank you card or a Christmas card? Can we, invite this person to something? Can we? But see, I wouldn't think like that. Why? Because I hunted this one. I'm on to the next hunt. So now when we couple her strengths into the business, that's when our retention shot through the roof. So now understanding what each person's strength is, now you can put that into a role within the company and y'all just run those lanes and be very careful about trying to change your spouse into you. Because when you do that, you are bound for conflict because you can never have a car become an airplane, right? Airplanes are great. They're great. But you can't drive an airplane up to the grocery store, get groceries, and come home and feed your kids. Like, they two different purposes.
I love it, dude. I love your analogies. I'm an analogy guy, and you lay out some of my favorites, man. I love it. Well, I appreciate your time today, dude. I know you got a big business to go run. You got a lot going on, so I appreciate you taking now 40 minutes out of your day to share with us. So anything I can do to help for you and the wife, as always, let me know. I appreciate y'all getting on. If either one, myself or Anthony can help, hit us up. We ain't hard to find. Appreciate you guys. Later, homie. Later. Get him.